What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. Glad to be back. Let's kick this off. This video is it's kind of the spur of the moment kind of video I'm going to do. I had an idea, and this is the idea that I came up with. I like to take pictures of the charts that interest me the most. So I created a folder, and every single month I'm going to do a recap video of all the stock pictures that I took that interest me the most. Now we still have a week left in August, wrap it up, so I'm not going to go over that just yet. I'm going to wait and hold off on that and make that video next week and go over all the stock pictures that I found interesting and I took, and we'll go over every single one. Just go over them. And I think it's really important to take pictures and save them of these stocks. You could go back over them. You can look back and see chart patterns, the history, and just familiarize yourself with the way these stocks move and what they look like and what charts start to look like. I have a lot of stock picks, and let's start going over some of them. This is just going to be random stock charts going over just pictures that I took. We'll keep going on this. And it just goes to show you that anything can happen with these stocks as long as you have patience. This is AWX. This is when it got squeezed from $6. The next day it hit a high of $36. That was a crazy move right there. And I think it's just cool just to moves like this a couple months later just to go back and look at it and just be like, wow, I can't believe that happened right there. What else we got? And then we got this one. This one was another AWX. Just crazy price movement on AWX. This was a real weird one. And then out of nowhere it just started going crazy. Like it didn't match with the level 2. It was very weird, and I will not forget AWX. This is more AWX. This is the daily chart right here. As you can see, going from $2 to a high of $10 in 4 days right there. AWX again. This was the day before it went to $36. See how it had this, even before this right here, these were still crazy moves right here. Just when it looked like that this was the top, because you can clearly see right there that that's like a head and shoulders. You got your head right there, a shoulder there, and a shoulder there. And shorts started to pile in on this, thinking this was the top. It had a big, good drop, went sideways, and then it just went absolutely nuts. I'm not sure what this is. Had a morning spike right here, first couple hours of the day. Then you got your lunch hours right here. Power hour just had a good spike right there. And if you look close enough right here, you can see that this is an inverse head and shoulders. You got your head there, you got a shoulder there, and a shoulder there. And this started to grind up, making higher lows, higher highs, got momentum, and took off. This is BBOX. Just a beautiful chart. Beautiful. So many opportunities on this one that day. So many opportunities. 99 cents to $1.70 pre-market. Comes back up to the high. Comes down. It kept bouncing off this support here at like $1.50. Go up to, what was that, like $1.85? So that's a 45-cent range right there, from $1.50 to $1.85, $1.90. Could have capitalized on this, I would say, once right here, and then twice right here, 3 times right there, and then you got a pullback right here, and then that's from $1.90 to $2.24, and then it kept going. That's just, this chart is just really beautiful. Wow. So many. This is what I love to see. Opportunities on these charts. And this is why I take pictures and save them. Patience. You have patience to wait for setups like this. Patterns don't always work. Once again, wait for breakout from trend line or play the trend line and selling when it bounces up. So we had, this is a good U shape right here. We had probably had a gap up, started to form a wedge down, making lower highs, bouncing off of support right here. And then when it opens, it cracked, dropped down, started making a U shape on up. I would say that's a cup and handle. You got your U shape right there, it pulls back, and that's your handle right there, and it spikes up. And then it pulls back, and you can see how it bounced. When it pulled back right here, it established support at old resistance. And if you slowly follow that across, you see how my mouse is going right over old resistance, like right in this area, and that's where it bounced on support. Buy the pullback there at $3, have a nice ride up to $3.40 or $3.75. Not sure what I was doing right there with that top line, but again, it come right back down to $3 area, and it started hanging in this area, bouncing off the VWAP, broke over the VWAP, came down, bounced off the VWAP. That just looks very toppy to me. It couldn't even break back above this old resistance right here. Did a double top right here, and then it just died off. It's a good looking chart. Got a lot going on right here. So when price comes down to the trend line, look at the level 2 on the bid. You want to see stacking for prices to hold. If they are getting chipped away, then people are dumping. The more indicators that line up, the better. I use the chart, volume, level 2 with the time in sales, all with trend lines. And that's the truth right there. Patterns don't always work. That's why you wait for break of trend line and sell into pops. And that's the truth. And this is the 5-minute right here. So this gapped up, started to go up, made a high, then it went sideways. Market opens, price falls down, then it starts to establish itself, slowly moving up, has a good U shape right here, pulls back, once again, bounces right off of old resistance for support, and then moves up to 375, and then after that, it just slowly puttered out. And then a setup right here was looking, this is an up wedge, making higher lows, coming up to the resistance right here, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And what we were looking for was for this to break this resistance here and then test 375. It didn't happen, and it fell out and it dropped down. Looked like this was BLIN. Here's another one. This is a great one. This is CALI. This is the day before it got halted. And then I believe it got halted for, it was like 2 weeks. It got removed from the NASDAQ exchange, going from $2.40 up to $5. No news, just a pump and dump. Traders taking advantage of the low float on it. I remember this. Nothing really going on in the market. And when nothing's really going on in the market, you're going to see a lot of low floats just take off running. And I didn't play this. And I feel bad for anybody that swung this or held this overnight. I don't know why. It got halted for 2 weeks. That's why I say I don't swing stocks. Because all I play are penny stocks. These are pieces of crap companies, either out the door or they're just starting up. You don't know what their future is going to be if they're just starting up, and they're heading out the door, either on the OTC market or they're on the exchange like the NYSE or the NASDAQ, and pretty much literally about to be downgraded to OTC stocks, pennies and pink sheets. With these low price stocks, I see it all the time. They'll have their first green day, second green day, the company comes out with an offering. And every time they do an offering, the price just drops 75% or more. It's crazy. They take that when it spikes, the company wants to take those profits to reinvest into the company, or just take the money and run. That's why it's hard to swing these penny stocks, and I don't even want to mess with that. I just simply want to trade them. That's it. Trade the stock the day that it's good and move on. CBIO just had a good spike up right there, and then couldn't even hold it. No volume came into it. Went from 17 all the way down to 1075, all within an hour. Pretty much a $7 move right here. What else we got here? CEI. CEI. What happened with CEI? CEI, I think this was a reverse split. And this was its first day for its reverse split. Market opened. This is the 1 minute chart. Just had a good spike, pulled back, got in on it, rode it up to the top. Then it pulls back, and it just kept going all day. From 70 cents all the way up to $1.80. And it's good to look at this in multiple time frames, seeing what the bigger picture is. Another CEI. So this had to have been the day before then. So that was the first green day, or the second green day. This was the first green day. Goes from 38 cents up to 68 cents. And then just went sideways the rest of the day in a range from 52 cent to 63 cent. Very, very toppy on it, but holding its gains. You know, it spikes up here and spikes up here, and it's still, when it's holding its gains like this, that shows for the next day for a continuation. So I would be keeping an eye on it. And if we go back, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened on this. It had a continuation. And when people play something like this and it's holding its gains, you got to think of everybody that's still holding their positions. Everybody's still holding their positions. More people find out about this after doing research after the market ends. And the next day you have more eyeballs on it. Love playing continuations. Continuations or mid-candle breakouts. A stock goes green one day. The next day it has a pullback, red day. Then the third day I'm looking for a bounce or a continuation, or for it to get momentum after its pullback. CPAH going from 312 up to 498. DDE, let's see what we got here. Made higher lows. Yes, it did break trend line in morning. Higher lows, but it was still a higher low from first bottom at 280. Good buy in at 3 with risk at borrow red candle at, I think I meant to say bottom. Red candle at 285. Now old resistance is now holding as support and has merger news. Float is a little high at 16 million. And just because it has a high float, it could get momentum. See it all the time. Sympathy plays in the same sector, just going bananas. Following in sympathy, all because it's in the same sector. It did make higher lows, forming a wedge up like that. But on this one, it's very, very toppy here at 325. If anything, I would have been possibly waiting for this to break the resistance right up here, buying in at the bottom when it's, you know, making these lower or higher lows. Try to get in as low as possible and either sell it when it comes up to the resistance line or sell into this pop when it breaks the resistance line. It's hard to do that though when you're under the PDT rule though. Next up, GBR. This is another one that just went parabolic supernova, I believe. This day it went from $1.50 to $4.75. Look at that. The first 2 hours of the market just went up and up and up and up and up. Pulls back, bounced right off of the VWAP. Started making higher lows, trending up, forming a wedge right here. Resistance there and there. I'd put a line, and then I'd put a trend line going up as it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And like I said before, usually the third touch on these patterns is when something's going to happen. So you got the first touch right there, the second touch right there, and the third touch is when it broke out. Got a high of 475, pulled back to 320, and then right back up. That's a huge range on this. Huge. 320 to 440. That's $1.20. All within, what, a couple hours right there? This is a 2-minute chart. Another GBR, like I said, this went full parabolic supernova. Right here, $1.50. Look what it reached a high of, $12.75. And once again, you've seen it right here. Opens up the first couple hours, all the way till noon. It just trended up and up and up and up. You got a failed breakout right there, pulls back, consolidated. This would have been a slower, like you would have had a lot of patience to hold on to this if you broke it down. After getting in like somewhere here or even here, having it right up, failing to break out, pulling back below where you bought in, and then for it to go up like that again. Another GBR reached a high of looks like 1380. Then it crashed all the way down. $6 drop, bounced at 610 to 750 twice. Reached that high, the market opens, everybody dumped it. And it just got a great 2 bounces right here. From $6 up to $7.50, $1.50 bounce. Crazy. And stocks like big drops like that don't always have good bounces. They don't have to bounce at all, but most of the time they do. And if it has a really, really, really low float, like this one, it had a $1.50 bounce. This is a 1 minute. So within 1 minute, let's see, from $6, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to bounce $1.50. That's crazy. And then even here, touches $6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8 minutes to bounce $1.50. That's just awesome. Waiting and having patience and capitalizing on a move like this. Waiting and watching for it to drop. Got a bounce right there. Comes back down. I'd look for this to hold as support right here, which it did. And when it started trending up, you know, I'd get in for just for the ride. HMNY, I remember this one. This happened really, really fast, going from 73 cents, spikes up really big high to $2, and then crashes down really fast. That was a real fast pump and dump. It got halted right here at like $1.15, opens up at $1.50, and then look at that. I don't know if you could see that green wick, but look at that range right there. That's crazy. Let me zoom out of this. And you can see the volume bars too. You got the buying right here, and then you got huge selling. And then this is ISR, another pump and dump, going from 50 cents, spiking up to almost $1, dropping down to 65 cents, and then spiking to $1 again, pulling back, and then run into $1.20. I just took a picture of this. I just thought it looked really cool. Never underestimate a stock. You thought, if you would have thought it had this spike here and then it fell down, thinking it's over with, look what happened. That's why you always keep an eye on stocks that spike and pull back, because momentum, look at that. It slowly died off, and then out of nowhere, momentum just came right back into it. Emotions and shorts, LBIX. This is MTSL, low float pump with continued buying. As soon as it broke trend line, it dumped hard. The float was only 1.7 million. All day, this just accumulated buying and buying and buying and buying. This is all it did. starting at $1.45 all the way over here, just buying, just people buying and holding, buying and holding, buying and holding all day, taking advantage of the low float, just accumulating. That's all it kept doing all day, accumulating, accumulating, accumulating. And then look, the last 15 minutes of the day, everybody said, all right, I made my money, and dumped it. And it goes from 645 all the way down to 250. That's insane. That's crazy. Wow. That's crazy. That's a sight, ain't it? 1.7 million float stock, MTSL. I remember this day too. And then right there, it's a good example. You got your lunch hours right there from noon to after 1. What did it do right here? It just flatlined. So it just goes to show you nothing goes on during lunch hours. The first couple hours of the day and the last couple hours of the day is when all the action takes place. MTSL again, this is the 5-minute though. And then you can see it just did nothing. You know, I mean, yeah, it had a nice, a tiny bounce there, but that's not even worth it. MTSL, this was the beginning of it. MTSL, again, what happened here? MTSL was like one of those stocks. It just kept spiking like every day for 2 weeks. I remember that. Earnings season was just starting. When earnings season for all these large cap stocks happens, the penny stock market dries up. And you have those traders that need to trade every single day. And they need to trade. So what do? They put their attention towards low floats and they pump these low floats up. And MTSL was in play for 2 weeks. I remember that. And this was just one of those days. Going from $1 to 324. The thing is though, you can make money with these low float pumps, but you just gotta be careful. The SEC can halt them at any time. You know, they can get a T12 halt. They have no catalyst. They can dump on you at any moment. Going back a couple of them, you don't want to be that guy that finally gets in and then have it dump on you. I think this is PED. Just a great continuation all day. And then towards the end of the day, it got very toppy. And then this is PED again. Just put a trend line on it, follow the trend line. Lunch hours again. You could see lunch hours, it goes sideways in a range. And then the last part of the day, it starts to move again. And then people take their profits and it dumps the rest of the day. Just a great looking chart. Even they used the VWAP pretty much as a trend line. Comes down, kept bouncing off the VWAP. And then even here when it crashed, or when it dumped down, bounced right off the VWAP. That's why I love putting the VWAP on my intraday charts. A lot of traders use the VWAP. This is PED again, going from 40 cents up to 93 cents. And then PED again. What is this? Pixie? There's a Head and Shoulders right there. But it just goes to show you that, you know, Head and Shoulders patterns don't always work. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking shorts are saying, hey, this is a Head and Shoulders. They piled in on it, starting to short it. And what happened here? It got short squeezed. Boom! Going from 420 up to 530. I took advantage of that. Just having patience. Patience and waiting. It's the name of the game. SAEX. This was SSLJ. This was a swing from over the weekend. This was starting to close strongly, and then it looked like people just started dumping it at the end of the day. I was just feeling really comfortable holding this. It had great news, I believe, and I just thought it wasn't done. STAF. Going from $2 to $3.37. STAF again. Just follow the trend line. Every time it comes down to the trend line, that's an opportunity. You can see it totally disregarded the VWAP too. TGC. going from 90 cents to 247. That's why I love playing these penny stocks. That just the moves on them can be just so crazy, and I just love it. So much opportunity if you know what you're doing and you know what to look for and you just have patience. And it's just fascinating watching them and aligning everything. Look at the chart, look at the volume. You can clearly see continuation buying on this. And then after that, you can see the continuation selling on it. TNTR going from 13 cents to 56 cents. That's crazy. That happened from 9:30 to a little after 10. So 45 minutes going from 13 cents to 56 cents. Look at the opportunity on that. And that's why you have scanners as well. You know, the scanners will pay for themselves. Moves like this start to happen, it hits on your scanners, it gets traders' attention. You see the continuation buying here on the volume, but then you have a big sell-off right there. That's why it's you don't want to chase plays like this. And that's it. That's the last one. But I have many, many, many other photos, and I just wanted to give you guys an example what I'm gonna try to do every single month. Every month, like August, I took pictures of every single chart, every ticker that I thought was interesting, the biggest gainers, and at the end of every month, I'm gonna go back and look at all those charts and go down memory lane. When you start to do that as well, you'll start to notice patterns happening on different tickers over and over and over again, and you'll be able to pick up on what's happening in the market. What's the current trend in the market? What's the pattern currently right now? That's it for this one, guys. Just a little spur of the moment video. Make sure you guys stay patient, disciplined, and you study. Let's get it, team. Alright, guys. Later.